Hey guys, it's Doran with Secret to Family again, just touching base with everybody out there. Wanted to take a couple minutes, chat with you about being the boss of your family. Did you know that there's more than one way to be the boss of your family? I know we discovered that with our family pretty quickly, quite frankly. Um, what we've discovered is that there's actually three different kinds of bosses in the family as it relates to the organizational aspect of the family, I guess. Um, we thought this was something that we would just share the load on, and it's not the case at all. Um, what we've discovered and what we've kind of patterned things after is quite frankly business. We did a little research and found that there are kind of three key positions in an organization, and we tried to pattern those in our own family. And those three key positions are the following. They are the CEO, or the Chief Executive Officer, the CFO, the Chief Financial Officer, and the COO, the Chief Organizational Officer. So immediately you're thinking to yourself, whoa, wait a minute, Doran. You just named off three, and most traditional families have two, and a lot of families only have one at the helm here. How do we do all of this? Well, quite frankly, it all comes down to finding your passion in any of those three, and then understanding where your weaknesses are and making up for those weaknesses somehow, some way. So let's talk about all three of those. So let's start with CEO, so the Chief Executive Officer. If your passion is to plan long range, if your passion is to think 3 to 5 years out, then you might be fit for the CEO of your family. I know that in our family, that would be me. I like to think of things big picture and make grandiose plans. I don't have all the details all of the time. Sometimes I do, but quite frankly, I like knowing kind of where our family might be heading and kind of visioning what it could be like 3 to 5 years from now. And that's, quite frankly, that's the CEO's position. The CFO is the next one, Chief Financial Officer, and I think the name kind of gives it away. If your idea of fun is working with the numbers of the family, figuring out how you're going to make ends meet, those kinds of things, then CFO might be for you. And what we learned in our family is that that's my wife's position. I wanted it to be mine, I truly did, but it just works out a lot better if she takes care of all of that. And asks my opinion when it's appropriate. Then we have COO, Chief Operations Officer. The Chief Operations Officer's position is a very important one because that's the day-to-day. That's making sure that people make it to where they need to go, how they're going to get there, making sure that lunch is ready when it needs to be ready, and those kinds of things. It's kind of the detail end of things. So if that's something that gets you excited, then the COO might be just the thing for you. So here's the age-old question. We just named off three things. Like I said, a lot of times there's only two or maybe even one to fill those positions. So what do you do? Well, the first thing is understanding which of those three you're the strongest at, because you will work the least in the one that you're strongest at and where your passion lies. That's good. That one will come naturally to you. So it's important that you understand which ones you're not. Okay? Now, once you've identified which ones you're not, then you need to figure out how to make up for that. So, a couple ways you can do that. Number one, you can lean on your partner, your spouse. Like we did, I realized pretty quickly that I was going to be the CEO. My wife was going to be the CFO, and then we had the COO, or the COO position, that we needed to kind of load share. And we both enjoy parts of that, so that ended up working out okay. Other places you could go to find that expertise might be a very trusted friend, someone that you can kind of spill your guts to and open your family to, and maybe you can find some help there. Otherwise, it's a matter of really buckling down and understanding that while it may not be your passion, you're going to have to put some time into those and really really put forth some energy that you may find hard at times to do. So those are the three positions, and it's really important that you identify those and where you're going to fit very early on. In our earlier video, we discussed kind of the three circles, and I'll try to reference that by putting a little clip here, but we talked about the why, which is the mission, the vision, and the values. We talked about the who, the people who are in your family, whether direct or extended. And then we finally talked about the how, which is the actual activities that make a family go. And those were divided into three different categories: physical health, mental or spiritual health, and financial health. But before you can begin any of that, you need to identify where you fit in the world of who's the boss. Be the best and right boss that you can be. So, your passion either lies in being the CEO, long range thinker, the CFO, numbers person, or COO, the operations officer. Identify where you fit and where you're going to have to spend a little extra energy or find input from the outside world. And that's where this kind of needs to start taking place. So I hope all is well. I look forward to hearing from all of you. That's all that I have for now. And take care.